to keep Mayuri alive. To return to that version of fate.
In the heart of Akihabara, Tokyo's electric town, a self-proclaimed mad scientist conducts an experiment with a microwave and a cell phone. He sends a text message, and in that moment, the world fractures. What follows is not a story of heroic adventure through time, but a descent into a labyrinth of cause and effect, where every good intention breeds catastrophe, and salvation requires sacrificing the very happiness you fought to create. This is a story about the weight of memory, the curse of choice, and the sheer, desperate will it takes to defy fate itself. This is the entire story of Steins. Gate. Arc 1. The Delusion of Control, playing God with a microwave. Our conductor of chaos is Okabe Rentaru, a university student who adopts the persona of Huwin Kyuma, a mad scientist railing against the shadowy organization he calls the Organization. His laboratory is a cluttered apartment above a CRT shop. His colleagues are his childhood friend, the kind, airheaded Mayuri Shiina, who lives in her own world of cosplay and plastic models, and the perverted but brilliant hacker, Daru. Their life is a cycle of cheap curry, sci-fi banter, and building useless future gadgets. It's a delusion, a game, and that game is shattered when Okabe attends a lecture on time travel. There, he meets Kurisu Makise, a neuroscience prodigy whose intellect is matched only by her sharp tongue. They clash immediately. Later, on the rooftop, Okabe hears a scream and finds Kurisu lying in a pool of blood, stabbed. In a panic, he texts Daru about it. Moments later, as he stumbles through the crowded streets in shock, he looks up and sees Kurisu, very much alive, arguing with her father. The world has shifted. The blood is gone. His text message about the murder is gone from his sent folder. He is the only one who remembers. This is the first divergence meter shift. Okabe's reading Steiner ability, the curse of retaining memories when the world line changes, activates. The catalyst, the lab's latest gadget, the phone wave, a microwave modified to interact with a cell phone. They discover it can send emails into the past. Dubbed D-mails, these messages alter history. What begins as harmless experiments, winning a lottery, correcting a minor mistake, quickly proves the terrifying power they're wielding. Kurisu, intellectually captivated despite her skepticism, joins the lab to help them understand the science. They refine the phone wave, believing they are pioneers. But they are not alone. Every D-mail is a ripple in the digital stream, and a monolithic entity is watching the currents, CERN, the European Research Organization. In this world, CERN has been secretly researching time travel for decades, and their future is a dystopia where they rule the world with a temporal iron fist. Okabe's D-mails are like flares in the night, drawing CERN's direct attention. Their rounders, assassins, are already in Akihabara. The lab's innocent game has made them targets. The delusion of control is about to collapse into a nightmare of consequences. Arc 2. The Convergence of Tragedy, the Labyrinth of Mayuri's Death. Drunk on their power to help, the lab members begin using D-mails for personal reasons. Okabe helps his friend Ferris save her father, transforming Akihabara into a quaint, traditional town. He helps Ruka, who was born male but identifies as female, be born in the correct body. Each change is a profound act of kindness. Each change also violently shifts the world line, with Okabe as the sole, traumatized witness to reality, rewriting itself around him. The cost of this meddling arrives with brutal finality. CERN's rounders, led by the stoic FB, storm the lab. In the chaos, a single gunshot rings out. Mayuri, trying to protect her friends, is killed. Okabe's world ends, but thanks to another invention, the time leap machine which sends memories 48 hours into the past, it doesn't have to. Okabe sends his consciousness back, determined to save her. This begins the true horror of Steins Gate. No matter what he does, warning her, hiding her, changing locations, Mayuri dies. A train accident, a sudden heart attack, another rounder's bullet. Fate is not a suggestion, it is a law. Okabe learns of convergence. Certain events are attractor fields, points in time that must occur to maintain the stability of a given world line. In the alpha attractor field they are trapped in, Mayuri's death on a specific date is an absolute convergence. He can time leap 100, 1,000 times. He will always fail. He will always watch her die. The cheerful tutoru of her voice becomes a tolling bell of his failure. The only escape is to shift away from the alpha attractor field entirely. To do that, he must undo the very D-mails that helped his friends, reverting the world line to a point before CERN detected them. This is Okabe's true crucifixion. To save Mayuri, he must become the villain. He must look Ferris in the eye and tell her he is condemning her father to death again. He must tell Ruka he is forcing her back into a body that feels like a prison. He must erase their happiness with his own hands, bearing their tears and hatred, all while carrying the memories of the times they were happy. The weight of these choices breaks Huwin Kyuma. The theatrics fall away, leaving only a shattered, weeping man named Okabe Rintaru. The final D-mail to undo is the most painful of all. He learns the initial D-mail, the one about Kurisu's death that started everything, wasn't sent by him. It was sent by Kurisu herself, from the future, to prevent him from discovering her corpse and thus attracting CERN's interest. Undoing this message means returning to the original world line, the beta attractor field. A line where CERN's dystopia is not the immediate threat, but where another convergence exists. In the beta line, Kurisu Makise is fated to die on July 28th.
Glad I was finally helpful.
No, Mayushi!
Okabe is presented with the ultimate cruel choice by the future. Save Mayuri in the Alpha World line, where Kurisu lives but Mayuri always dies? Or save Kurisu in the Beta World line, where Mayuri lives but Kurisu is murdered? He must choose which woman he will condemn to death. Arc 3, Forging the Steins, Gate, the Deception of Fate. Broken, believing any path leads to ruin, Okabe chooses Mayuri. He undoes Kurisu's D-mail. He returns to the Beta World line. Kurisu is dead. Mayuri is alive. He has saved his childhood friend, but the cost has hollowed him. He is a ghost, mourning the brilliant tsundere scientist he grew to love. Weeks later, a final hope arrives. Suzuha Amane, a part-time worker at the CRT shop, reveals herself as a time traveler from the year 2036, Daru's future daughter. She arrives in a fully functional time machine, a blue Volkswagen van called the Christina. She brings a message from Okabe's own future self, recorded after a decade of suffering in a war-torn future. There is a third option, a theoretical, nearly impossible world line called Steins Gate, where neither convergence occurs, where both Mayuri and Kurisu can live. The plan is diabolically complex. To reach Steins.Gate, Okabe must travel back to July 28th and prevent Kurisu's murder without sending the initial D-mail that would alert CERN. He must, in effect, deceive the past, and more specifically, deceive his past self. He and Suzuha travel back. In the heat of the moment, trying to stop the real killer, Kurisu's own father, Okabe accidentally stabs Kurisu himself. He has not prevented the convergence. He has caused it. He created the very closed time loop he was trying to escape. The despair is absolute. He gives up, ready to accept a doomed future. It is Mayuri, the girl he fought through hell to save, who delivers the final, crucial blow to his despair. She slaps him, not with anger, but with a fierce, simple love. She tells him to stop running, to fight for the future he wants. Her words, and a final video message from his future self, clarify the true plan. He didn't need to prevent Kurisu's death. He needs to fake it. He must stage the scene so his past self believes she is dead, triggering the original D-mail, while she remains alive. Okabe steels himself for one final journey. He goes back again. This time, he lets events play out, but intervenes at the critical moment. He places a metal upa under Kurisu's shirt to deflect the stab, uses a packet of fake blood to simulate a fatal wound, and positions her unconscious body exactly as he remembers seeing it. He hides and watches as his past self stumbles upon the scene, sees the corpse, and runs off in terror to send the fateful D-mail. The deception is perfect. The world line shifts. Okabe awakens in an unfamiliar street. The divergence meter shows a number never seen before, 1.048596. The Steins.Gate world line. He rushes to the radio building. There is no blood. There is no corpse. And there, alive and arguing with her father, is Kurisu Makise. The convergence is broken. The nightmare is over. The cost was immeasurable, but the gate is open. He collapses, weeping tears of pure, unadulterated relief. In the epilogue, life returns to a new normal. Weeks later, at a conference in America, Okabe bumps into Kurisu. She doesn't remember their shared trials across world lines, but she feels a powerful, inexplicable sense of déjà vu. She calls out to him, and as the camera pulls back, Okabe smiles. Not the manic grin of Huwin Kyuma, but the gentle, weary smile of a man who has finally, truly, reached the future he chose. To truly understand the gravity of Okabe's journey, we must look beyond the plot and into the themes that give Steins.Gate its enduring power. This isn't just a story about saving people. It's a story about the corruption of innocence, the ontology of identity, and the psychological cost of godhood. Let's start with the lab members themselves. At the series opening, they are playing at being revolutionaries. The future gadget laboratory is a clubhouse. Their experiments are games. Okabe's Huin Kyuma persona is a shield, a way for a socially awkward young man to inflate his ego and color a mundane world with drama. The phone wave's discovery turns this play into something terrifyingly real. The shift isn't just technological, it's moral. They move from building useless gadgets to wielding the power of a god. They are no longer children in a treehouse. They are surgeons operating on history itself with a rusty kitchen knife. Each D-mail is an act of incredible arrogance, performed with the best of intentions. They believe they are fixing broken pasts, but they are, in fact, introducing chaotic variables into a system they do not comprehend. The true horror of the first half isn't CERN's arrival. It's the slow dawning that their help has made the world objectively worse, more monitored, and more dangerous. Their innocence isn't lost in a moment of violence. It is eroded email by email, each one a step deeper into a labyrinth of their own creation. This brings us to Okabe's unique curse and gift, reading Steiner. This ability is the narrative's brilliant device for delivering tragedy. In most time travel stories, the protagonist changes the past and wakes up in the new present, spared the memory of the discarded timeline. Okabe is denied this mercy. He is the universe's record keeper. He remembers every failed timeline, every death of Mayuri, every moment of happiness he is forced to revoke. This makes his suffering cumulative. While the world resets, his psyche does not. He isn't experiencing a series of alternate realities. He is living one continuous, horrific life, where the ground is constantly falling away beneath his feet. Reading Steiner transforms him from an active chooser into a passive witness. He becomes a ghost haunting his own life, burdened with knowledge that isolates him utterly. His breakdown isn't melodrama. It's the logical result of experiencing 1,000 tragedies, while everyone else, even the victims, remains blissfully unaware. His ability is what makes him the only one who can fix the problem. But it is also the very thing that ensures the process will torture him beyond human limits. The central conflict between convergence and choice is the philosophical heart of the story. The attractor field theory presents a universe that is not random, but strangely moral and deterministic. Major world events, a world war, the dominance of a dystopian regime, create powerful currents in time. To reach a different outcome, you must change a fundamental causal root. Saving Mayuri isn't a matter of moving her out of the way of a bullet. The universe will simply find another way to kill her, because her death is a necessary component to stabilize the Alpha World line leading to CERN's rule. This presents a terrifying idea. Free will is an illusion within an attractor field. You can choose your actions, but you cannot choose their ultimate convergent consequences. Okabe's time leaps are a brutal experiment in this futility. He has absolute freedom of action across 48 hours, yet the outcome remains locked. This breaks the standard time travel power fantasy. It's not about being smart or fast enough. It's about understanding that you are fighting the structural integrity of reality itself. The only way to win is not to play better within the rules, but to change the game entirely, to shift the world line. Finally, the deception at the story's climax is its masterstroke. After a narrative that has hammered the immutability of convergence, the solution is not a grand heroic battle. It is a subtle, almost pathetic trick. Okabe doesn't overpower fate with a stronger will or a bigger weapon. He outsmarts it with stagecraft, a piece of metal and fake blood. He doesn't change the event, he changes the perception of the event. The genius here is that it respects the established rules. Kurisu did die in the original Beta World line. Okabe saw her corpse. The convergence was satisfied. The Steins gate world line works because it reveals that the convergence was never Kurisu Makise must cease biological function. The convergence was Okabe Rintaru must witness Kurisu Makise as a corpse and send a D-mail about it. The story's final twist is that the unbreakable law was always about Okabe's state of mind, not Kurisu's physical state. Salvation lies not in altering the past, but in manipulating a single crucial observation. It turns the story from a tragedy about inescapable fate into a triumphant heist, where the thing being stolen is a happy ending from the jaws of a deterministic universe. The story of Steins Gate is not about the mechanics of time travel. It's about the human spirit persevering through infinite cycles of tragedy. It's about the love for a friend so strong you would rewrite reality, and the love for a partner so deep you would trick causality itself to save her. It is a masterpiece of emotional payoff, proving that even when faced with the cruel, deterministic gears of fate, the will of a single, stubborn mad scientist can, in the end, choose his own destiny. El Sci Congru.